Tonight, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. Washington Commanders taking on the Houston Texans.
The sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they enter play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Play fake here on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Back to throw here. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. Four touchdowns, one pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. A time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Griffith. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down. Reynolds. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And avoids the contact by sliding. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Dances by him. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, It's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on third down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On second down, a run with Gibson. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 14 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Looking to throw. Reynolds. Throw left side complete. That's McLaughlin. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Griffith. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Looking to throw on second down. Reynolds. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. The Texans at 13-2 on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now, because to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way, because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
To throw on second down, Reynolds. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The 6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down. Back to throw, Reynolds. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say, on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. Now a give right side. It's Simpson, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on third down, Reynolds to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. He'll try to shake off the cobwebs from the interception he threw on the previous drive that led to the field goal, as now they're dealing with a little bit bigger of a deficit. 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. They'll look to throw here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
30, 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
But no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Now the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and 5. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon.
Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away.
This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb, and the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Oh, boy, hang on here. J.J. Watt appears to be injured or at least shaken up on that last play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw.
Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Rolling to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Chase Young.
Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Throwing on 3rd and long. Reynolds. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. will step aside.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
you don't
down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Back to throw now on first down. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Back to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down. Reynolds slings this deep from McLaurin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Reynolds. And this one's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Reynolds slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Terry McLaurin, 40 yards. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football. And that's exactly what happened there.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 2nd and 1. Being chased out left. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll drop to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here's Jake Camarda now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Texans will take over. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a 24-0 lead already in hand, really no reason to try to do anything too crazy here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where you see the final score there. Josh Palmer, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Trey Lance, over 400 yards passing with 3 touchdown passes as well. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get, that first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Barton is not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
The football, it's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So certainly not at all what you're looking for here to start the third quarter. A fumble on their opening drive.
Not at all. You're exactly right about that because this had a chance to be the drive to put everything away. A touchdown here, that might have put everything out of reach for them. They definitely handed out a lifeline to the defense on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The kick by Bass is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. That's sharp. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on third down. Reynolds. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Up the middle they go. Griffith
down inside the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Looking to throw on second down. Reynolds.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The throw over the middle, taken in.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Griffith. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
44 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Another good carry there for the NFL's second leading rusher. And we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's 1st or 2nd or even 3rd in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Off the play fake. Reynolds. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw on third down. Reynolds. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the third quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 2-point conversions? That's difficult.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And the Washington offense going back to work. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
A gain of 14, first down, Commanders. Straight ahead, Gibson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
A give up the middle to Gibson to about the 48-yard line. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
7 yards there and a first down.
On the draw, it's Gibson.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Burns bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
The Texans offense set to regain possession.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Griffin. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 3 yards out. And the Texans extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Commanders' offense set to take over. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brian Burns make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Brian Burns dropping him for the second straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on third down. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And take it right on the 30. Oh, able to avoid him. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
He finds his man, complete. That's McLaughlin.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Second and 2.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, Reynolds. Now they go screen. It's complete. Gets around him, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluwakan. First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
And he stopped immediately there.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Brian Burns in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. On play action, they'll throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He will push his way down to about the 14.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter.
He's been one of their few bright spots so far. A big rush by the Texans, and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live.
So when I look at the scoreboard and realize they just blocked a punt with that type of a lead, how much of that was a called punt block or how much of it was a breakdown, you think, by the team punting the ball?
You got to think a breakdown, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think someone just didn't fulfill their assignment and end up now in even worse position.
And now you can start the buses. I would say it's safe, right?
Rev them up, baby.
If they weren't started. On 1st down, it's Griffith. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. He will push his way down to about the 14.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On third down, Griffith. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Houston,
they continue to show they'll be a tough out in the playoffs as they move to 14-2 on the year.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.